we are kicking things off with a historic comedy moment. Apple TV and Lionsgate series, the studio has officially become the winningest freshman comedy ever. Following their massive triumph at the BAFTA Television Awards this weekend, the Seth Rogen vehicle has swept every major trophy, including the Emmys, Golden Globes, and more. This is a record-breaking season for the studio, and we dive into how this comedy dominated the awards circuit.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at global power plays as President Donald Trump hosted a high-stakes meeting in China. A dozen major CEOs, including Apple's Tim Cook, Tesla's Elon Musk, and Goldman Sachs' David Solomon, were invited to join him, sparking massive speculation about future trade deals. We examine who was invited, who was left out, and what this means for American industry and China's massive markets. Now, let's talk big tech legal battles. Apple has finally won a major victory in its antitrust fight against the Department of Justice by getting permission to seek documents from Samsung in South Korea. We break down the legal strategy, the role of the Hague Evidence Convention, and what this decision means for the ongoing competition between these tech giants. And finally, we switch gears to your entertainment cravings. We are diving deep into the massive lineup of new deals on Apple Books and audiobooks, featuring everything from the worlds of John Wick to Savage Knight. Don't miss out on these incredible discounts and the must-have titles that are dropping right now. Stay with us. Apple TV's series, the studio has achieved a historic milestone, becoming the most awarded freshman comedy in history, following a dominant performance across major awards ceremonies. The Seth Rogen vehicle, a collaboration between Apple TV and Lionsgate, swept an unprecedented number of accolades in a single season. The show secured wins at the BAFTA Television Awards this weekend and dominated the Emmys, Golden Globes, Actor Awards, Critics' Choice, and the Producers, Directors, and Writers Guild shows, claiming the most coveted trophies across these categories. At the Emmys, the studio secured 13 wins, including Outstanding Comedy and Outstanding Lead Actor for Rogen, setting a new record for the series. The comedy also achieved significant recognition in international markets, becoming the first comedy in a decade to win in the international category at the Brit ceremony, marking the streamer's first international win. Further cementing its success, the studio earned recognition including a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and a Critics' Choice Award for Best Comedy. Record-breaking honors also include an American Film Institute Award for TV Program of the Year and a sweep at the Actor Awards. Upon receiving the international award, Seth Rogen dedicated the honor to late co-star and comedy legend Catherine O'Hara, stating, "It would be remiss of me not to mention Catherine O'Hara. She meant so much to us. I assume her work was as important to y'all over here as it was to us, so this is for Catherine." The series follows Matt Remick, portrayed by Rogen, a clumsy TV executive at the fictional Continental Studios, as he navigates the conflicting demands of the film industry and the C-suite. Production is currently underway for Season 2. U.S. President Donald Trump extended an invitation to a group of major international CEOs, including leaders from Tesla, Apple, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, and Cargill, for his upcoming visit to China, according to a White House official. The high-profile attendees include Tim Cook of Apple, Elon Musk of Tesla, and David Solomon of Goldman Sachs. The delegation is expected to focus on potential trade agreements, with reports suggesting the U.S. may announce deals concerning the purchase of more Boeing jets and American soybeans from China. However, the invitation list was selective. Not all invited executives are confirmed to attend. For instance, Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins will not be joining due to earnings commitments. Furthermore, key figures like NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang were excluded from the invitation, as the White House reportedly intends to prioritize discussions centered on agriculture and aviation sectors. This exclusion is notable given NVIDIA's growing significance as a geopolitical asset, with Washington recently easing export controls on some of its high-powered chips. Analysts suggest Trump's invitation strategy was aimed at generating corporate interest, citing previous reports that his comments had fostered a sense of corporate FOMO among executives. Semaphore noted that Trump invited companies that would broadly benefit from an open dialogue with China, arguing that in Trump's administration, major American corporations capable of securing significant deals and investments often exert greater influence on policy than broad ideological strategies. The absence of oil and gas CEOs from the invite list reflects the current global energy sector's challenges, specifically supply disruptions stemming from the conflict in Iran. The U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey has issued a significant ruling in the ongoing antitrust case involving Apple and the Department of Justice, granting Apple's request to seek internal documents from Samsung in South Korea. This development follows Apple's move last month to obtain internal Samsung data related to the antitrust fight concerning alleged monopoly practices. Apple based its request on the Hague Evidence Convention, a legal mechanism designed to facilitate the gathering of evidence from foreign entities in civil or commercial disputes. Apple argued that Samsung is a highly relevant third party due to direct competition with Apple across key sectors, including smartphones, smartwatches, and app distribution. However, Samsung's U.S. subsidiary initially stated it would not release records held by its Korean parent company. The Department of Justice, however, voiced criticism regarding the timing of Apple's submission, asserting that the company should not have delayed the request by 9 months. The DOJ further contended that utilizing the Hague Convention process should not be used to extend the discovery phase or impact the trial schedule, warning that Apple should accept the risk that some or all requested evidence from South Korea might not arrive in time. Despite the DOJ's objections, the court ultimately approved Apple's request last Friday, stating that it considered the submissions from both parties and found that good cause had been established. It is crucial to note that this court decision does not mandate the immediate production of documents by Samsung. Instead, the request will now proceed through the established Hague Convention process in South Korea, where local authorities will determine the execution and scope of the request. Samsung retains the right to object or refuse to provide certain or all of the sought-after records. Apple Books and audiobook deals are live, offering a wide selection of titles at introductory prices ranging from $1 to $9. The current lineup features popular and diverse reads, including The Berlin Letters, Savage Knight, Bonds of Hercules, Breakout, The Worlds of John Wick, Blood of Hercules, The Rose Bargain, Dances with Wolves, and The Vanishing of Josephine Reynolds, among others. Readers can snag deals on everything from the Bed Bug Survival Guide for just $3 down to titles like Simplifique for only $1. Specific deals include The Berlin Letters at $3, Savage Knight at $3, Legendary Guitars at $3, The Worlds of John Wick at $3, Breakout at $3, Meowdle at $3, Thomas Kincaid at $3, A Art de Guerre at $3, $7 Days Dead at $3, The Perfect Mother at $4, Travels with Agatha Christie at $6, The Hero Within at $3, How to Kill Your Friends at $2, Thorn Jack at $3, The Rainbow Troops at $2, The Rose Bargain at $2, Boots and Bullets at $3, Jessica Jones at $2, Death on a Quiet Day at $3, Dances with Wolves at $2, Shining City at $2, The Vanishing of Josephine Reynolds at $2, Dead Run at $2, A Private View at $3, Kill All Angels at $3, Bonds of Hercules at $4, and Blood of Hercules at $4. Beyond books, Apple services like Apple Arcade, Apple Music, and Apple TV are also available. Note that the platform utilizes income-earning auto-affiliate links, as disclosed by the FTC.